Hello everyone and welcome back to Grim Dawn. I've looked through so much of this and I'm just gonna go for this. Because I have no idea what else to go for. The only reason is because this one here gives me movement speed. There are too many options and I feel that the game does not do a good job of telling you what they are. Yeah, just compare this to the sphere grid of Final Fantasy X or similar stuff. There was some way to mark just quickly what at least most of the options do, and then you only had to check some of the ones that gave you special skills, stuff like that. And I don't think this game does a very good job of that. I don't think it's coincidence that right next to the shrine that requires two of these crystals, there are two of these crystals. Okay, never mind. There's just a ton of them, because that makes sense lore-wise. Okay, I'm not doing any damage with this AoE thing. Oh well. I'm not sure how powerful it is, but that effect looks really cool. I mean, I can't really complain about my damage output right now. I feel pretty OP. This is a pretty big dungeon. I mean, when I started the last episode, I was certain that it wasn't going to be that huge. Kind of overdoing it with the spawners right now, lads. Okay, next rift gate. Okay, the warden must be nearby. I don't really care, I just want to read these two entries. Hoping that if I go back here, I'll be in peace. Okay, entry 5. Krieg has gotten the better of me, and I am presently at his mercy, imprisoned beneath his manor. Seeing no other way to progress in my investigation, I forced my way into the locked portion of the manor, and found myself in a veritable house of horrors. The unusual sorcery on the locks should have been my first clue that I was dealing with something more extraordinary than some rogue occultist. My search led me through a room filled with the rotting bodies of men and women subjected to brutal torture or horrible experimentation, or perhaps a mix of the two. Behind the manor I found a door leading down into the earth beneath the estate, where I found myself quickly lost in an implausibly large dungeon. It wasn't long before I sensed things moving in the darkness all around me, and they quickly closed in, surrounding me. As I prepared to fight for all I was worth, Krieg's massive form emerged from the shadows, his face expressionless. He spoke coolly, as though nothing at all was out of the ordinary, and invited me to tour his facility. While I had no doubt that something unpleasant was planned for me, it at least delayed my confrontation with the living horrors gathering in the dark. I've lingered in this dank cell for one long unsettling day and a night of terrors. Krieg allowed me to witness the process by which they are preserving human bodies for what he calls the glorious dawn. I've gotten glimmerings of another consciousness within Krieg, which is joined with, or possibly in control of him. From the way he spoke, it's clear that this is only some small part of a much greater conspiracy, and I suspect many other persons in key positions have been possessed by things akin to that which now inhabits Krieg. I was arrogant in my initial handling of Krieg, and seriously misjudged the power and scale of the threat we are faced with. Fortunately, Krieg's own arrogance has likewise led him to misjudge the resourcefulness of his prisoner. He has invited me to ascend beyond humanity by pledging myself to his cause, or to join his inventory of embalmed corpses. I've been left to contemplate this decision, but this cell, even magically warded, cannot hold the likes of me, and I have no intention of being here when Krieg returns for my answer. You can go, by the way. Sorry, still doing the spacebar thing. It'll be a habit for a while. Actually, since I'm still playing Torchlight, not currently, obviously, not in this instant, but currently, you know what I mean. It'll probably take a while to shake the habit. Gethrand's notes. It is unclear why the Ethereals are so interested in tissue preservation. One of my colleagues has posited that they may intend to use human corpses as vessels for possession when they bring more of their kind into our realm. Wagon loads of corpses continue to stream in day and night. The sheer quantity is staggering, and I begin to suspect that they are not merely executed criminals, as we've been told. Yeah, probably not. Come on, when I entered the laboratory it said Krieg must be nearby. I'm just hoping this doesn't take even longer. But we're in the living quarters now, so that's a good sign. Origin of the Slith, page 3. And the second entry to Gethrand's notes. Okay. Still can't see a quest marker though. Not sure if I should keep reading this. The Origin of the Slith I've not read page 1 and 2, so I'm going to not. But this one we can. We entered stage 2 of our trials today, but the results were not what I had anticipated. We've progressed to the point where the corpses can endure for months, possibly years, with minimal, mostly external deterioration. Our ethereal overseer seemed satisfied, and he, or it, unexpectedly placed his hand upon one of the corpses and released a spark of ethereal energy. The thing began to move as if it were alive again. It was a ghastly sight. What I found far more troubling, though, is that these corpses are clearly not meant to serve as ethereal hosts. It has become known to me that they prefer living hosts. The sheer number of corpses they are hauling through here suggests a far worse realization. An army. I just don't want to spend too much time reading all of these entries here. Oh well, final entry. That's promising. This will be my last entry, as I have determined to end my life. I cannot bring myself to carry out these abominable experiments any longer. Okay, we're good. I cannot. I may have already doomed humanity with my actions, though I have long felt shunned by my fellows at the Academy and thought the Ethereals could offer me something greater. I can no longer be a part of this. I fear that if they find my body, they will use me for their experimentations, so I must be discreet. Returning as one of those things would be unbearable. Though to be fair, you wouldn't notice. Oh, Gethrund. Look, he returned as one of these things. That would be unbearable. I wonder why he's called the Betrayed, when he's technically the betrayer. Okay. We have the Gildam Arcanum. But again, I don't see any of these special boss loot things. To understand the flows of the Aether, one must first learn to... Oh, got an achievement, okay. I'm going to level up, yeah. One must first appreciate its inherent risks. The arcane art is not a plaything, nor is it a tool meant to be abused. Countless young arcanists have lost their lives to carelessness and malpractice. Proper control of the Aether requires years of practice under the careful supervision of the Gildam Arcanum, the only formal office sanctioned to instruct and research the art of the arcane. Do not confuse what is lectured here with the teachings of the hypothetical witch gods. A common misconception amongst the uneducated. There are no gods. There's only reality and the science of the arcane. You can now wear this. Okay, just a few more level ups. 3 or so. Now to find Krieg. More standard zombies. So these overseers are just floating spheres, as we can see, kind of there in the corner. Do they even have hands? Because one of the die ranges definitely said something about the overseer put his hands on a corpse. Though I guess maybe they have small little arms that just weren't clearly visible from that point of view. Or maybe the overseer was possessing someone. Also possible. Abandoned storerooms. You know, I've got the sneaking suspicion that this won't be the episode we see Krieg either. Ow, you're hurting me. Definitely taking more damage than I was in the beginning. When I do take it, though. What's this? Some passive buff. Oh yeah, from my pants, I think. I would like to meet Mr. Krieg. German for war, by the way. Oh. There was a chest there as well. Cool, cool. Funny that even though all this apocalypse has been going on, my character just eats random stuff that he finds on the ground. There's an unfinished meal right in the middle of all these zombie hordes. I'm gonna have that. Okay, probably this way then. Too much space. Yeah, commentary is getting a bit stale. Definitely my last episode. If I don't kill Krieg this episode, it'll just have an next recording session. But I'm definitely getting too tired to make interesting commentary anymore. And yeah, it's getting a bit samey here as well. Just the gameplay. I think they've possibly overdone it a bit with the size of this dungeon. I mean, the guy said absurdly large, so... Oh, there's Zanbrand the Ascended. I guess we're gonna have to read the notes then, because they might be relevant. Some scrap, crystal. Again, no special boss thing that I can see. Okay, Zanbrand's note. My colleague Gathran took his life today. That short-sighted fool. He could never see the big picture, and this project was no different. Gathran could not fathom the glorious vision of the Ethereals and the role we will play as early human collaborators. This isn't about personal gain. We will elevate humanity. Certainly there has been a cost in lives, but progress always has a price. So what if the dirty masses will perish in the glorious dawn when the Ethereals reveal themselves to the world? To the Ethereals we are like some base primitive creature, as the Slith are to us. Those of us who will serve, or better yet bond with an Ethereal, shall forge a new human future. Cool story. Okay, that was a crystal cluster. Basically like a big crystal, I'm guessing. Come on, I'm willing to make this episode run a little over time, but yeah, not too much. Okay, these iron doors look promising. Warden Krieg, there he is! Brilliant, perfect timing. He is fast. We're Quite frankly, he's not doing that. Well, okay, he's doing about 20% of my health, but
Why won't you die?
that running animation looks really weird.
When I'm done with you, I will crush your friends and you are strong. Now, I will
Okay, phase 2, I'm guessing. Ow, 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 stop hurting me.
I can't do that yet.
He's certainly doing decent damage. I really can't keep control of all these debuffs though. All of this, I have no idea what they do. Come on.
That skill's not ready.
Alright. Okay, there's Supreme Spoils. This time I see them. And his chest. Soiled trousers. Wow, those are a unique item. It's funny. Okay. Let's check those pants. Epic pants. The previous owner seems to have left a little surprise. Okay, I gained poison damage. Okay, that's an interesting granted skill. Yeah, I'm not going to use those, but they are funny. I will have to say this. Life lead. Tainted brain matter. Cool. Yeah. That was the Warden though. That's a good point to end the episode, I think. Next time I'll just start in Devil's Crossing anyway. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.